Everyone knows what today is, and everyone knows 21 years ago where they were on this morning. And I just want to say before we start that all my condolences to all the families, all everybody who was affected on that day, all the people who died in the World Trade Centers, everybody who died on the airplanes that day, and then not just that day, but everything that came from that day. All the soldiers who went to war died, people who came back, that you know that didn't come back the same way that they left. There was a lot of people that have been affected from that day, and our country is still affected from September 11th, 2001. That is the day that completely changed our country. Completely changed our country. And it is way bigger than any day in our history. Like, it was way bigger than Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor, after World War II, right? Uh, it was over, right? It was attack on our military bases, and even though Pearl Harbor was a big deal, like, it was still not as big of a deal as the attack on the homeland that September 11th, 2001. And everybody remembers where they were on September 11th, 2001. I remember I was in high school. It was like 4 days before my 15th birthday, and I was in Miss Kelly's English class. And that's when the announcements came over that something was going on in New York City, and they're going to be releasing us early that day and go home. Pretty much ask your family what's going on. And and I remember those images, and I was just like, I could not believe what I was seeing. And like, at that point in time, nobody ever saw anything like that. There was nothing to compare that to. There was nothing to compare that to. And it was such, anybody who was alive that day, that it was just, and remembers that day, it was just a complete shock. So my condolences to the families that were affected directly. But even as an Americans, every one of us, every single American has been affected from this day that happened 21 years ago. And all the stuff that has come out from this. And I'd wonder what my life would be like if it wasn't for this day. Because all the knowledge and all the things that have been revealed, the websites that have come out, and all the movements that have happened since that day. And I don't want to get involved with any about the movements, because this is more about how bad those days were, that day was, and the condolences to the family. And even though we all know there was more to that day than what meets the eye, but yeah, everybody. So leave your comments down below where you were that day. Where were you? What were you doing? And tell us how you've been affected. How if you know anybody that was directly affected that day, go ahead and leave your comments down below. All right, everybody.